This isn't just another story. This is your story. Your triumphs, your conquest, your accomplishments, the things you've overcome. These are the things that make you you. But most importantly, these are the stories of what lies ahead. It's time to get re-inspired.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Re-Inspired Podcast. Super excited to have in studio the one and only Tara Sisneros today. Tara, how are you?
Hi, good.
Good. So happy to be with you. Thanks for your time ahead of time. I wanted to just us sit and visit for a little bit because you're awesome. And I wanted to share that with folks. And my first question, kind of a big question. If you were to describe who you are as a human at like the 25,000 foot level, what would that be?
As a human, I am generally caring and a loyal person, just as a high level.
Okay. How does that carry into business for you?
Well, it carries very well into business because that's how I get usually most of my buyers is I'm just very real. We have a small conversation and people are like, okay, I want you to be my real estate agent.
Yeah.
It's just connect.
Well, I know you're really passionate about working with buyers. Like that, and first-time homeowner. Really
Yeah.
enjoy.
Yeah.
What is it about with that side of the transaction that you love so much?
I think it's more of the teaching because I think I have just like what fills me up is helping people. So if I help people through teaching them through, guiding them through a process, it fills me up and it helps them. And it's a win-win.
A win-win. I love that. What's your favorite part of the process, or is there a moment, whether they're getting the keys or holding the crazy sign or whatever, is there a moment that stands out to you in that process?
Yeah, you know what? It's usually like when we've gone 2-3 days together and I tell them, we're going to find your house within 10 houses. And they're like, oh my gosh, no way. And then I say, you know what? Just trust me.
Yeah.
Trust the process. I've never failed a client yet. And it is. And they like look at me and go, oh my gosh, this is it. And I'm like, I told you it was going to be it.
Yeah.
And you just didn't believe it. Here we are.
Is that a sixth sense, or do you think with it interacting with the client can quickly kind of find out what they're looking for, what the need is?
Yes. For the past couple of years, I've really kind of narrowed down how to keep people very much looking at houses that they could afford. And you know, if someone says, oh, I want to see this house over in Thornton, I say, no, we're not going to see that because you told me at the beginning of this that you didn't want a house in Thornton. You want a house in Erie. So instead of going off track, right?
Right.
I bring everybody in, and that's where I kind of get like my 10 houses, and it's just in my head of like, okay, here's your 10 houses. If I can do it early, you know,
yeah.
in 3 houses, awesome. But that's kind of what I give myself.
Okay. And so it sounds like you're setting those expectations with the folks up front and asking for a lot of trust up front.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. But I tell them in my meeting with them, it's like, this is how I'm going to be. If you go off, I'm going to tell you no.
Okay.
And you might not like that at the moment, but you've hired me to keep you. I want a 2-car garage. This one is a 1-car garage. We're not going to go see it. Or because you said that was, and then they go, oh yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So
there's a method to the madness.
There is a method because they're going to be in the house a month or 2 months later and go, why did I get this house? Why did I get this house with a 1-car garage when I really wanted a 2-car garage? I mean, it's emotional for them. It's just, I got to put my feet down
and lock in. I love it. Let's zoom out a little bit. I want to talk about who you are as a person, right? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a little town outside of Rockford, Illinois.
Okay.
I had 1,000 people in my town.
All right. What's
It's
it
called Durand.
Durand.
Durand, Illinois. And went to school with 32 kids from kindergarten all the way through high school, 12th grade. Same kids.
32.
32.
Okay. How many of those kids do you think are still in that little town?
Oh, you know what? Probably like 3.
Okay.
Not that many. I mean, when we go back, most everybody is.
What was life like growing up in a community like that?
You would come home from school and I would get on my bike and you wouldn't see me until we didn't have many streetlights, but the streetlights came on, and then you'd, come in, Mom, what's for dinner? Yeah, it was just, we didn't have cell phones. We rode our bikes everywhere and literally like 5 blocks out of town and you're in the country.
Okay.
So, I mean, we would ride our bikes to our friends out in the country.
Yeah. What was there anything the little town was known for? Was there a plant there or stuff like?
Well, there is a nursing home that my stepdad owns.
Okay.
And he was the biggest provider of income for people. Yeah, I mean, for jobs, right?
Yeah.
For people that wanted to stay in the town. So, yeah.
So after high school, what did you want to be when you grow up?
No, I don't know. I think I want to be a teacher.
Okay.
Because I think everybody thinks they want to be a teacher. But honestly, I didn't know. When I came straight out of college, a little bit of me, I was like, oh, maybe I want to be a fashion merchandiser. That was because I worked at a department store that my aunt was a manager of in high school. And I don't know, I just didn't really know. And I worked a lot of the summers at the nursing home doing maintenance.
Okay. Like building maintenance?
Yes.
Okay.
Heck yeah. So yeah, I'd paint apartments in 6 hours, so they could get a new apartment in. The toilet, I need to screw down a toilet seat. I go and repair the toilet seat. I mean, really what I really wanted to do was be out there driving the mower.
Okay.
Because then I could get a suntan, but I never got to do that.
All right.
Over like quite a few summers, I painted the outside of the nursing home multiple times, laying on my back on 2-story scaffolding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of work at the family business and okay. And so you and your 31 other classmates.
Correct.
Classmates. High school, what'd you do after high school?
So after high school, I ended up at the University of Dubuque in Iowa.
Okay.
The real reason for that is I didn't know what I wanted to do. And the coach there was interested in me to come and play softball. So softball was kind of like my thing. And and so that's why I decided to go there, because they said, we want you to come. And I was like, okay, I'll figure it out.
Let me ask you a question. I'm not being facetious.
Yeah.
With 32 kids, was there enough to field a softball team in your town? Or
Oh, yes.
there were. Okay.
Oh, gosh, yeah. We were really good.
Okay. What was the name of the team?
Well, it was just, we had the Pink Panthers at one point, like for the summer.
Yeah.
But Medina had their own team. So I played for Medina. It was just kind of broken up into age categories. But yeah, I mean, one fun fact, which is kind of crazy, but my freshman through senior year, in every single sport there was, all 4 years, we were conference champions.
Oh, wow.
Not weird?
That's kind of cool. They brought all that.
No, but we were like, it was pretty cool. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, so it was, I would say we were pretty sports focused. Like my grade and my, yeah.
Well, my upbringing was kind of very similar. 2 younger brothers that are the coolest people on the planet. I'm the only older brother that wishes he was a triplet because I'm twins. And it was totally that you're working off the street.
Yeah.
You're on your bike, you're in the woods, you're doing something. And then when the street lights come on, you go, all right,
gotta go home.
I'm going to do the thing. And no cell phone. Thank God there are no cell phones.
Yeah.
So you go to school. You're working with a coach Did you play softball in college?
I did.
You tell me.
That's really why I went, right? Was to play softball. So got there, played, and met my best friends that are still here today. Most of them all were within one sorority. And again, I went to a very small school, 1,500 kids
Oh, wow. Right.
in the entire school, right? Because I came from I just kind of went little to little, and it was perfect for me. I don't know that I would have like shined, right? In like, if I've gone to like a big CU or something.
Right.
I think I would have gotten really like hidden in the mix. So yeah, and it ended up being great. And literally I changed my major about 10 times. And
What was your original? What would you?
oh gosh. My original was, I think, like business or something. And Lord, I couldn't get through like micro econ and macro econ. I
Yeah.
tried everything. My mom laughs because she was like, oh my God, Tara, we just needed to get you out of college. Accounting, all this stuff, just trying here and there. And then I went into like biology, zoology for a little bit. And then I was like, oh God, that, ended up last semester of my senior year. I had enough credits to do a speech communication degree.
Oh,
I can liberal arts, you take a lot of a little things,
Yeah.
Mary
that's
Carol Harris, she was my teacher, and she was like, Tara, you can do this.
yeah.
I'm like, thank you. And so I got out with speech communication degree.
Oh, that's amazing. And you probably use that every single day.
I mean, yeah. Theory of speech communication, whatever that. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. But hey, I made it through in 4 years.
That's saying something.
It is.
All right. So what happened once you graduated high school, college?
Graduated college. The summer between my junior and senior year in college, my uncle had moved from Chicago out to Colorado for a job.
Okay.
So I followed him, lived with him in Highlands Ranch for that summer, worked at Boston Chicken, which is what then turned to be Boston Market, which is not even there anymore. But I worked there and did my last year of school. And then they gave me a job.
Okay.
At the headquarters, and it was in Golden. So literally, I came right after school with a few girls from college, my best friend from high school, and we caravanned literally from Dubuque, Iowa to Inglewood, Colorado.
The big city of Inglewood, Colorado. What was that corporate job with Boston Chicken at the time?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of work were you doing for that?
So I started in customer service.
Okay.
And then through that, back in the day, they had a team of people that really, just to make everybody love their job, there was a team headed up by Robin Shokier at the time. She was the vice president. Class president. Class president is what her title was. Literally, so we would sit at the front desk, and say hello to people and make sure, that was all good. So we'd answer, some of the telephones. But really, we were doing everything possible to make it a fun place to work. So we had over $1 million budget. So we would have events literally every single month for the people that worked there. We all worked hard. Everybody was working 16, 18 hours, right?
Yeah.
Like back then, and it was in my early 20s. And so, yeah, that's what I did. And so then I became just one of the team members. There were like 10 of us.
Okay.
And then we did some of the big like partner meetings and things, like franchise partners would come around, and yeah.
This is a sizable chain.
Oh, yeah.
A real big chain.
Oh, yeah. And it grew really fast.
Yeah. Yeah. Where did you end up? Did you stay on that team the whole time? Did you end up growing into another position?
So, you know what? So at the time, the real estate guy there, he decided to break away from Boston Chicken and create a skincare distribution company.
Interesting.
So class president and I, at that point in time, I was like her assistant, kind of lived with her. I kind of nannied with her kids and
Okay.
all of that kind of stuff. So we went there, and then I worked for a distribution company, Vitamin C, when that first came out, in mineral makeup.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What were there any lessons that you learned with that first job when you first came out here working with Boston Chicken? Were there any big lessons that you learned or anything like that?
Well, yeah, my lesson I learned real quick was when I was on the phone, I'd be on the phone and people would call in and they would say, my chicken is cold. I realized real quick, I need to get out of that job.
Okay. Yeah. It's totally outside.
I mean, like, what? Yeah. And I needed to be face to face, way more face to face with people.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay. So then from there, you go to the distribution company.
Yep.
What did that look like?
So that was general marketing stuff for a while because it was a up and coming brand new distribution company.
Okay.
And I ended up doing trade shows for them.
Oh, wow.
So I would go out, put the trade show together. All the salespeople would come in. We'd work the show.
So
All the salespeople would leave. I'd pack everything up, and then we go to the next one.
So did all of your working in the family business, doing building repairs, help you making tool friendly?
There's really nothing that like you can't do when you work in maintenance for a nursing home for that many years. I mean, there's nothing really that you can't do.
Yeah. Good. So you did the trade show thing. What other stuff was going on in your life?
Really nothing at that time because I was just traveling a lot on and off.
Okay.
And so didn't have any, I was kind of single and I was like, oh, I'm bound and determined to be single my whole life. I was 26 years old. I did actually buy my first condo. That was a goal of mine at 26. I wanted to buy my first place. And that is something that I tell people too. Like when I'm talking to first time buyers, I'm like, you can do it. So yeah. And as soon as, so you know what, I was kind of figuring out like this might not work for me very, very much because I was really just on the road and
Right. And having a new condo, you probably want to spend time in
yeah,
condo.
yeah. So at that time, I was camping with a bunch of folks and ended up meeting my husband. So yeah.
Were you with the distribution company when that happened, or was
Yes,
okay, you were. Okay. And you guys met on a camping trip.
we did. And he encouraged me to go back to school and get my esthetician's license.
Okay.
Because really in that distribution company, that was all about estheticians. I was talking to doctors, plastics, derms, all these nurse. It was just very medical based. And I thought maybe, okay, like I'll get my license and then maybe I'll want to do this on people's faces.
Okay. I'm done.
For real? I did that for a little bit, right? Because I was like, okay, forward facing, I want to help people, right? Until it became people laying on your bed were very vain, and then that just really ticked me off. And it was actually 9/11. Everything was, falling down, and I had to go to work. And I went into my room, and I had a lady, it was like a regular, come into my room. I gave her a facial, and I said, I want to keep the radio on to hear like what's going on. And she threw a complete fit. And like while I was in there with her, I was like, you know what? Screw this. This is not for me. Like if someone is here laying in their bed worried about me, like massaging their face, I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, where the rest of the world is burning.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it was huge. Right. And it was just like, bing.
What happened after? That was a defining moment.
It was a defining moment. And by that time, Tim and I had gotten married, where we were just newly married at that time. And he had some like administrative stuff because he was in the telecom field. So he was like, okay, so hey, can you do some of this administrative stuff? So I kind of started a little administrative company at that time to help some of his partnership.
All night.
And then the next thing you know, I got pregnant with my daughter, Kinsale, and then I was a stay-at-home mom.
Okay. So how many kids do you have?
Two.
Two. Boy and a girl?
My daughter, Kinsale, and then a son, Callan.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Mhm.
That's fantastic. And, I think that era of our lives, when we get there, changes everything.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
Absolutely.
it's just a new framing. And you
Mhm.
have these things that are 100% dependent upon you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How did you settle into being a stay-at-home mom? Was it the greatest thing ever? Was
Oh,
it
yeah.
was it hard?
I was meant to be a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Gosh. The funny thing is, when I was 26 and I was like, I'm never going to meet anyone. I thought I was going to have kids. And then the next thing you know, you're like married, boom, 29, have my first kid. And I was
Okay.
like, yeah. And so when Tim and I met, we had talked about, the real way that we both wanted to do this was someone staying home.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? That's all I've ever wanted to do. I want to raise my own kids. He was on the road a lot with his job. And so that was and it worked out. And then my kids are 5 years apart.
Okay.
I would have had a ton of kids, but it just didn't work out that way. So I kind of had my daughter for 5 years, kind of like an only child. She went off to kindergarten, and then I had, my little baby Callan. And so I feel like both of them had my full attention,
Oh, it's
for their growing up years.
now, a friend of mine, a guy named Brandon Pitkin, told me, and this is like a groundbreaking statement to me. He goes, "Yeah, because early on when Karen and I were having our babies, he said it's funny we sell our wives to the highest bidder and our children to the lowest,
Right?
and that absolutely shook me. It floored me, and not soon after, Karen was doing the stay-at-home mom thing, and it's never been happier. We never looked back as like,
I would never look back from
it was
that. I would do it over and over and over.
And then from the oldest kid standpoint, because I'm the oldest, do you have any brothers and sisters?
I do. I have a brother who's 4 years younger than I am.
Right. So I always tell people that my mom was diagnosed with twins when I was 4.5, because that's when
Yeah.
that only child.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I love that you made the most out of that. So, all right. So we're building this amazing family. We've kind of maneuvered through education and careers and stuff like that. Where did real estate actually find you?
Well, so once I had my daughter, me being very social, my husband being on the road, I needed some time. I needed people.
Yeah.
So I went out there and looked for every single mom's club, things like that. Hit it off really big with this organization called MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers. And it's a church organization. And to this day, like, I still know probably 50 people from there, and everybody's just kind of knit close, tight. Something happens to someone and they're like right there. So I kind of grew with those folks, right, through this time. And I was like, well, hey, I do waxing. I'm like, wow, I could get my eyebrows waxed. Oh my gosh, this will be so great. You come to my house, I'll wax your eyebrows, bikini wax, leg wax, whatever. Your kid plays with my kid. Win-win, right? So that's what I did. And all that was just cash, just for, or going out money or babysitter money, But yeah, it was a way that I could spend time with my friends and them too. Yeah.
And the kids got the socialization, but their kids and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
So then that brings me, and so that brings me into kind of how I got into, I've always been crafty, right? So we would always do crafts in our meetings, and you'd meet all these people. Ooh, you used to be an interior designer, or you are an interior designer. You are this, you are that, you are this. And I was like, you know what? That's what I think maybe I want to do, like later, not anytime soon, but, and so I would help people decorate their houses. You know what I mean? We'd all just come together and be like, oh, hey, what do you think about this? and we'd redecorate and
Okay.
things like that. And so I guess ever since then, I would always check to see, ooh, someone down the road, I wonder how much that house is. And then, oh, hey, I wonder, so I've always been,
Kind of
just-
connecting the dots.
yeah, for whatever.
Okay. What was the moment where you said, I'm going to go to real estate school, I'm going to get a license, I'm going to do it?
Well, that was during COVID. I had been, so just to kind of get out there, just to talking to like adults and not about mom stuff, I started working at the kids' school as a substitute teacher, which helped me because I'll tell you, at the beginning, I couldn't talk to people in a regular conversation, like an adult conversation, right? Did that, ended up doing that for 5 years, actually. At that time, I was like, well, should I go back to school and get like my teacher license? Or my husband always, for like ever and ever and ever over here, even like for 10 years, like, you should get into real estate. 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 So you know what? I did. Girlfriend of mine, we were like, we're going to take this class. And we did, and we studied way too long for it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, and then I got into it.
All right. So while you're getting into real estate, COVID is coming.
Yeah. COVID is.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What was going on in your life? How the kids are high school or middle school?
Yeah. So Callan was so Kinsale's her junior year. Callan was in 7th grade, the worst middle school grade ever, for that poor kid. But everybody did okay. And I was socializing and doing my best to get my real estate license. Yeah. And surprised myself, actually, by going and getting it done and scoring high. I didn't have much confidence in myself that I could take a test again, all that stuff.
Yeah.
None of that stuff, yeah.
What, I know that my 2 girls, it was Kinsey senior year of college and Grace's senior year of high school, that year where everything was shut down. And I'll never forget, I went up because I was working from home a lot then too. And I went in and opened the door to Grace's bedroom, and she's sitting there with her laptop. I'm like, what are you doing, kid? And she's like, I'm taking my gym class, Dad. And I'm just like, oh, the world's gone.
Right.
I'm mad, right? But that was 7th grade is a tough year for most kids.
Yes. Oh, gosh.
That's
Such an awkward year, too.
It was really weird, but like a lot of the big celebrations, prom,
Yeah.
homecoming,
Oh, yeah.
those things weren't happening. So it was like,
Right.
it was just a very weird time. Okay, so you get your real estate license, you ace the test, you score high. What then?
At that time, in my cul-de-sac, my neighbor was like, hey, I need some help. So got my license and just started working with her. And she basically taught me how to do open houses, and I do open houses and just kind of do more of the transaction stuff for her.
Okay. So was she running a team? Was she a standalone agent? Brokerage?
Single agent.
Single agent. So you moved in or moved over and then started helping her with stuff. What was your first year of real estate actually like?
I was just a TC
Just
at that point.
See,
Just a TC,
people who keep everything moving.
which is, yes. But it's funny because I really thought that I knew real estate, right? Because I was like, I can fill out the contract. I know how, you know what I mean? So I was learning everything that I thought I needed. Yeah.
What was the reality?
It was not reality at all. I needed to be taught what real estate is all about. The transaction is,
Mechanical.
it is. I hate to say it, but it's like, that's just paperwork. And even right now in my business, while I can do it, I have someone that helps me with it because she's awesome at it. And I'm really awesome in other ways.
Okay.
than doing paperwork like that.
So what happened, or what was the next step in your career where you kind of stepped out front maybe a little bit?
So I looked at my email one day. It was the 1st of February. And Alan Strange, he had sent an email out. So we had bought our house from Alan. So history with Alan, back in the day of MOPS, his wife and I were good friends. So, and our daughters, Kinsale and his daughter, grew up essentially. They went to preschool together. They went to elementary all the way through high school together. So we bought our house in Thornton from him. So he was always sending me emails. And at the bottom of it, literally, it said, the Strange team is hiring. So I gave him a call and he was like, absolutely, come in. And that's when I was like, I curled my hair all up. I wore like funny real estate clothes. You know what I mean? Like totally like, oh my gosh, I could do this.
And that's the headshot.
Oh, yes. Right? Get in there. And he was like, okay, asking me all these questions. I did a KPA. And so he's going through all this KPA stuff. And yeah, that's like me. That's like me. And what do you think you can do how are you going to be really good on our team? And oh boy, I was so proud of myself that I knew how to do contracts, how to send things to the title company. I knew what to do to closing. And he's like, okay, yeah. And like, I was like, what? Don't I know everything? And he was like, how about you meet me here next Monday, 9 a.m. and we'll start what real estate is all about.
And what wisdom did he pass down to you about what real estate? How would you verbalize that?
Real estate is nothing like I think anybody thinks that it is. Real estate is all relationships. And while we're selling used homes, it's really about getting out there, having relationships with people, getting people to trust you, and doing that over and over and over and over and over again. You never stop. It's just constant. And for my personality, I think that's a great thing for me because I do like to talk to other people. I like to go here, there, right? So I think while I was with a Strange team, still kind of training, if you will, went to a bold class.
Okay.
And bold is pretty awesome. And there was a challenge. By the end of bold, you had one day that you had to talk to 100 people about real estate. And I kept pushing it off and pushing it off and pushing it off, even though I was dialing for dollars all day long until you got 20 contacts a day, right? And so what I learned from that was now I know how to speak to people because I messed it all up on the telephone. And people are telling you, whatever. And you just have a good comeback, right, for them. But you need to go through that. You need to get through the uncomfortable stage. And it was bold. And it was the bold 100. And I was like, nice. And so the team was like, okay, you guys, we're going to do it. And we're going to do it today. Oh my gosh, I was sweating. But I started at the Starbucks, at the Safeway, at my house. And no joke, I walked in and I just approached the guy in line and I was like, hey, what do you think about the market?
Okay.
I'll never get that because I was like, what's a dude getting? He's waiting in line for, but you know what? I had to get through.
Yeah.
How do I talk to people? By the end of 100, it was like, that is nothing. You know what I mean? But what it taught me was how to just talk to people, just in general, talk to people. I didn't have to know all the answers, right? I just had to make a connection. And once you learn how to make a connection, then you realize, oh, that's the biggest part of real estate.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that our worlds revolve around the relationships we have, and our relationships largely revolve around the conversations we have.
Yeah.
So if we can figure out how to have good conversations, good conversations.
Yeah.
Like if you know how to talk to somebody and find out what they need from you, then you can serve them at a higher level.
Mm-hmm.
And that
Absolutely.
it is those big steps. Or it's like, God, we're gonna do 100 of these today.
Yeah, you know what? You just got to get through it though. And I remember telling Alan, I'm like, oh, I just want to be like 3 years ahead of where I'm at. And he's like, you know what? You got to go through the grind. You got to.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've told people, these newbie agents that come in, I'm like, you guys have got to go through the grind. You have to get out there. You have to do this. I remember I was going to start doing some open houses, and I was like, I got this. And we would review it every Monday. And Alan was like, well, how were your open houses? 15 people come in. He's like, you didn't get one contact out of that? I was like, no. And he's like, well, what are you doing? I don't know. I'm just being myself. And he said, okay, let's role play. Because we would do role play all the time. So I literally went outside the door and I walked in. He was the customer. And he walked in and I was like, hi. And he was like, maybe, because you need to mirror and match. I was like, what do you mean? You came at me and I was like freaked out because you were like, hey, welcome in, with your jazz hands going on. And I was like, oh, that's what you mean when you say mirror and match. Oh, he's like, what did my body language look like when I walked in? What just what my look I might be giving you by not looking at you, or all these things, right? That you need to learn how to look at people to try to figure out where they're at, right? If they're gonna kind of do one of these. So yeah. So that was my, oh my gosh, no way. And then so as soon as I figured out, it was great. I mean, and that's all I needed after that was, and then I needed, of course, practice, just simply talking to people.
Sure.
And not saying, hey, do you have a real estate agent the first thing when they walk in? Because what's everybody going to say? Yes.
Right.
Because they don't want to talk to you. I mean, it's like going into a clothing store. What can I help you with? I'm just looking.
Right. Yeah,
Right?
totally. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Talking through that.
Totally.
So how big of a game changer was having like an Alan Strange in your life to help you break some of these things down and help develop skills and stuff like that? Talk a little bit about that.
Huge. I mean, I would probably be out. I know that I wouldn't be in real estate right now if I didn't join Alan's team. And he put me through the rigorous training. I mean, we had little dials that we had to be on the phone for this long, and then we could take a break in the dialing machine. I mean, you just hate it, like the end. And he would be back there and just say, you just got to get through it. You got to get through it. And I'd say, oh my gosh. But I got through it. And this is where I'm at now. And I'm getting repeat business from people that I started with 4.5 years ago.
Right.
Right. And the biggest thing is I was so worried that people were going to think I was new.
Okay. So it was like an imposter syndrome kind of, yes.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? To this day, not one single person has asked me how long I've been in real estate.
Really?
So it was something I just had to get over myself. And maybe because, I'm this age, people are like, oh, she's been doing it for years. But I had no one ever say, like, how long have you been doing this? Are you qualified to do this? Never.
Did you see like a J-curve effect with like your confidence and stuff? Like, were you faking it and then got it, or were you, or just, I know you have a strong personality, were you always just rushing into it, or was there a point where you really felt I got this. Everything's clicked.
Probably like a year ago.
Okay.
I was like, you know what? I can do this.
Yeah.
But yes, it was down here for a long, long time.
Okay.
And, but I wanted to be here, right? But I never could get here. I just, I had to go through the mud before I could get out, right? I just had to be down there and make the mistakes and, oh my gosh, I mean, and have someone back me up. Alan to get on the phone, oh, sorry, this and this, to kind of help me get me out of those weeds, right? But yeah, but I think it took me a while to just gain that confidence. I was out of the working world for like 16 years.
Right. Okay.
That's a long time to be, well, I mean, I was PTO president, things like that, doing stuff with our church and things, but not in a business sense, right?
Sure.
And it was just within me for me to realize you can absolutely do this.
So now you're a top performing individual agent. What do you think a lot of people get wrong about what they think success is in real estate?
Well, I would say a lot of people think that it's coming in, leads are just going to just fall in your lap.
Right.
I don't know where they think they're coming from, but maybe the brokerage and, they're just going to fall in your lap and you're going to go out, you're going to start selling houses. You're just through osmosis going to know like everything about a house and you're going to make $200,000 a year. Not true at all.
Right. What do you think the difference between some of the people that, like you, have been able to find success in the business and the people that fade out? Where do you think some of that gap exists?
You know what? I think people start out, and I think the people that succeed have the grit.
The grit.
They just keep
grinding.
They just keep grinding. And it's a long grind.
Yeah.
It is. So you could ask Alan, I quit 3 times.
Okay.
I mean, like sobbing. And the rest of my team, they were like, it's okay. You're going to be okay. I was one of like two girls on the team too. So here I'm like surrounded with guys and they're like, oh my God, just grind again. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I can't do it. And I get myself up and I can do this. I can do this. So it's not that it was that I even gritted well. I mean, it was, yeah.
So when you would hit one of those mental or emotional, how would you pick yourself back up, dust yourself back off?
Well, you know what? I think it was probably because I was surrounded by guys. His work. And they were like, let's go play a game of darts. And we'd play a game of darts and I would stop crying and they would just encourage me like, it's okay. We can do this. Let's get on the phone together, and
this business inherently for single agents can be very lonely or feel very lonely, right?
Gosh, yes.
And so having community around you, I think, is huge. That's amazing. How do you think you've changed as a person from day one of real estate to where you stand today?
I'm a whole different person as far as confidence. And the thing is like I come and talk to people as I don't want them to use someone else because they're not going to treat you and give you as much education and just be with you in this whole transaction like I will. So I'm like, you got to be mine because I don't want you to fail with someone else that might not be as good as I'm just super confident in myself.
Okay.
Then I'm like, yeah. And I'm somewhat of a bulldog, one might say. I just kind of go in there and just kind of push for my clients.
Well, I think there's a little confidence a client has when they know somebody's fighting for them.
Yeah.
A little bit ago, we were talking, and you said your confidence kind of jumped about a year ago. What did that look like? Is that when you went out on your own and started like saying, I got this?
Yeah. So I would say when I went out on my own, I was timid.
Okay.
So I was at the top of my game, and then I went out, and so I kind of dropped down, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then you know what? It was the camaraderie of the people in the office, like in our KW office. I was like, what? What are you doing? You can do this. That I was like, you know what? You're right. I can. I have all the skills now. Because that's what Alan gave me. He gave me that foundation. I know how to do this. There's no reason that I can't do this on my own. And yeah, honestly, with the people in the office, Leslie, you, Cato, everybody just going, come on, you can do this. Probably took me about 3 months, and then I'm like, I can do this. And I think I'm still going, you know?
Well, yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, and I'm going to make my goal this year. And I mean, it's already shown that I'm going to make my goal this year.
Yep.
I'm like, heck yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, that's incredible. Why Keller Williams, or specifically Keller Williams Preferred Realty? What do you think is noteworthy, or what about that you think makes this a special place?
Well, I think I learned everything like the Gary Keller way.
Yeah.
That's what everybody talks about. People will talk about how KW is really good at education and in a specific way, because I think a lot of people have taken what Keller Williams does, right? From 9 to 11, you're on the phone, and then you do your lunch, and then you check in with some phone calls, and then you do your appointments. And I think other people have probably adopted that from the Gary Keller way. And if you just kind of stick to that. And I was able to go to family reunion also when I was with Alan, and that like blew my mind. They're so amazing. I mean, the people that are up there talking and the people that are doing, they're just like me and you.
Yeah.
Like they're no different. I mean, and what they're doing there, and they're producing, they're selling 100 homes. They're selling 400 homes. It's just like, when I saw Jen Davis, she was like, I said, Jen, and I shook her hand. I was like, hi, I'm Tara. I want to be just like you. And she was like, no, Tara, you want to be you. And I was like, oh my God, I love you even more.
Oh no, it's amazing. A couple different things, right? The business systems that have been developed.
Yeah.
This isn't new stuff. These are almost like your ancient wisdoms that we've just kind of collected and molded together and be like, here's how you run a business. Because I think a lot of people try to just sell a lot of houses.
Yeah.
But they don't run a business.
Yep.
And a business is what gives you that longevity. It gives you that clarity, that focus, that intention, helps define the activities you should be doing. So I think that foundation is huge, and I agree. The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book has been how many millions sold? And they're not just reading it, within Keller Williams. And I love that. And then to go to some of the big national events, or even the regional events are off the hook, right? Rocky Mountain Summit and something. But to see a Tony Robbins or a Mel Robbins or Jen Davis,
That's exactly
people, you just like,
mind-blowing.
you're like, all right, this is pot. I can do.
Yeah. And you're in this room. I don't even know how many. I mean, but just, rows and rows and rows and rows. Probably 90,000 people. I don't know. 40,000 people. I don't know. I'm bad with, but there's just people everywhere. And then you look, and for me, I just look at those people. I'm like, they look like me. I don't know. I thought that when I was going to go for the first time, that everybody was going to look like Selling Sunset.
Okay, gotcha.
No joke.
Yeah.
I was like, I was scared. I was so excited to go because I'd made my goal, and that was my whole thing, to be able to go. Made my goal. And then I was like, oh my gosh, do I have the right shoes? What should I wear? And then I got there, and I was like, oh my gosh, there's no difference of me and anyone else. This is me. This is me, every day. This is me. And sometimes I'll be out playing tennis, and I'll be done at 3:00 and I have a showing at 4, and I tell my clients, hey, I'm going to be in my tennis outfit because I'm coming straight from a tennis match. Like, okay. So I just kind of presented like that. I'm still the same professional in a tennis outfit than I am.
You right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that whole selling sunset was like, oh my gosh, I have to be like selling sunset. I have to wear this. I had to wear this. My car. Oh my gosh, how many new agents have said, oh, I need to get a new car? You don't need to get a new car. No one drives with you anymore.
Right.
Since COVID. So I'm like, you don't need a new car at all. You can drive in your minivan. You can drive with whatever. Really? I can? It's just how I think the world looks at us because of all the TV shows. And so everybody's, that's why everybody wants to be a real estate agent, because they make $1 million for one sale. Go through the grit times and the crying and quitting multiple times. And yeah.
So in addition to being a top performer as a solo agent, you're also a member of our ALC, our Associate Leadership Council. What does being a part of the ALC mean to you, or what have you experienced so far by being part of that group?
I think it's pretty cool. It's a group of people that work with the folks at KW that run the office, and we try to make it better for everyone. It's a bunch of people like-minded.
Right.
And it's fun. And I think that it also runs into my personality of wanting to help. I mean, all these newer agents just kind of like follow me because, of course, I'm like, hey, if you need any help with anything. Until they're like, hey, Tara, you know what I mean? And so I feel like now with ALC, that'll give me an outlet. I'm like, hey, I can help with these events because I'm doing part of the events with that. So yeah, I like it. I've got something to give back.
Yeah, you do. And we're beyond grateful for you being willing to give that back. And I do think, whether you had a title of a leader or not, you were still attracting those people. People were still like, she's gonna help mom the shit out of this for me, so I know what's going on, right? So to find kind of something that's harmonious with your natural.
Well, even when I was by myself, I was always the mom of the office.
Yeah,
that was one trait that I think Ellen was trying to get me out of.
Okay,
I was like, you don't have to deal with these. I'm like, this is my personality. It's a part of what fills my cup too.
Yeah.
Is giving back to I want to be the person that sits in front with a new agent and go, this takes grit. You got to do this. You got to do this. It's hard. And if you're not working at it, you will not succeed. Don't even waste your time. It's very hard. You have to get really uncomfortable. Go door knock that neighborhood. Oh my gosh, I would never do that. Well, you don't have enough grit then, because you got to be able to talk to anybody out there.
Well, and I think you're doing that person a really big favor by being
right.
Like, hey, here's the reality, because they watch the same TV shows
that
everybody else is watching. Right? You show up and it's here's the deal and the handshake and the $1 million payoff, and it's really a very different reality and world out there. What do you think makes Keller Williams Preferred Realty different than other places? Because you've kind of seen it from the team perspective, you see it from another brokerage perspective.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I mean, for sure, with the other brokerage I was with, not nearly it was so different. Yeah, they held classes, but no one was checking in and saying, hey, what do you need from me? Like you do. You need something? I mean, everybody here, I don't know, I just feel like it's just the culture. The culture is like, I'm here if you need help. And that was not like that at all in the other brokerage that I was in. And I just think that everybody here everybody's nice to one another. I think it's small enough I mean, if 200 agents is small enough, but like you can know a lot of agents.
Yeah.
Which to me, I want to know other agents and I want to collaborate with other agents. Yeah. Like they're your competitor. There's so many people out there.
Yeah.
But you know what? If I can help Melissa do something and she can help me back, that's awesome. Like
You're not alone.
No, you're not alone. And that's the culture here at KWPR.
If you were to talk to an agent that maybe is stuck doing just 2 or 3 deals a year and they want more, or an agent even doing 5 to 10 deals a year and they want more, what would be one of those upfront, straight up things that you would tell them that they need to consider or take a look at?
Consider coming into the office, being around people.
Get around people.
I think you just need to be around people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really hard to do this on your own. When you start, you've got to be around people. You've got to see what other people are doing. Just simply, if you're having a bad day, just someone sitting next to you doing what you're supposed to be doing, you're like, okay, I can do this. Yeah, just not really being alone, because I think this is a really hard job to do alone. And it's a heck of a lot more fun when you've got connections and people here and there, and it's fun. Why not make this fun?
Yeah.
I mean,
No one sees all the no's, or not now, or stop calling me, or I told you, or you know what I mean? No one sees all that. And so to be able to shake that off when you need to with other people,
yeah.
or see how other people handle that with grace and learn from that is pretty powerful stuff. Is there one thing in your career you wish you would have done sooner, or a change you would have made with maybe how you started or something along the way?
Yeah, I would have started. Actually, and Alan asked me, why didn't you call me when you got your license? If I would have started just a year earlier with Alan.
Yeah.
Not that it was bad. I mean, it wasn't bad with my neighbor, not
Sure.
in any means. I mean, she taught me a lot, but I didn't know how to be a real estate agent until I got like
A proper mentor.
yeah, total proper mentor and get on the Gary Keller, this is what we do from 9 to 4 every day.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is a thing. You just got to grind. You got to do it. You got to do all the uncomfortable things. Everything I hated to do, and I would put my head down and all this stuff, like just go through the motions if you have to. That's what I would tell someone. Like, go through the motions if you have to, because you'll come out the other end way better.
Do the work.
Do the work.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple.
I think, a lot of times this can be looked at as an industry of hobbyists.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a difference between somebody who's working a hobby versus somebody who's working a profession.
Absolutely.
Career.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
that's something that I point out to people when I talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you know what? Thank you. You're really great. But my cousin, she's a real estate agent, and she sells 2 or 3 houses a year. Does your cousin really know the market? Do they really know what's going on right now? Because last week was very different than this week.
Yeah.
Within this category of $500,000 to $600,000 buyers, there's no way of them knowing when they're the hobby, and that's fine. But I think that this is the biggest expense that you'll ever have in your entire life. You have got to have a professional helping you. Period. End of story. Someone who knows what's going on.
Right.
Flat out.
We are going to wrap this up with some rapid fire questions. You ready? Okay. Coffee or energy drink?
Coffee.
A lot? Little?
Just a little.
Just a little. Okay. It's almost like the spark plug that gets the motor going for you.
Mhm.
All right. I love it. Your first commission, what'd you do with the money?
Oh. Boy. You know what? So kind of since we've just been kind of paying ourselves back, doing some instead of taking a home equity loan out, we've kind of borrowed from, so I kind of just, some of that money goes there. And we've had some pretty amazing trips, because that's always been on my vision board, right? It's like, I want to be the mom that can take everybody, my whole family on a trip. So we've had some pretty awesome trips too.
What were two notable trips that you'll never forget?
Italy
Yeah.
and London.
Okay.
So yeah.
I love that. All right. What's your favorite way to decompress?
I color on my phone, which is so dumb.
You what?
I color on my phone.
Like,
Yeah.
okay, right.
It does. I just have to sit down. I just color. And it just, and the other thing is, and I just have to have it silent.
Yeah.
The rest of my house always has to have music going on. I'll be in my car for literally 2.5 hours going to the Springs or something like that, and have never turned on the radio.
Really? Okay.
It's a little weird, but I don't know. I think that's just kind of
Yeah, space. I love it. So what's your one non-negotiable daily habit? What's something you have to do every day just to keep it dialed in?
One non-negotiable that I learned is I have to do real estate every day.
Okay.
Not necessarily go out and do a showing. I mean, just talk to someone about real estate. Could be just one thing. You just have to be consistent.
Okay.
You just can't give up a day.
I love that. And it also sounds like you're not doing that from solely a business perspective. You're passionate about helping people.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah.
I think there's a complete reality shift. If you're waking up every morning to try to chase $1, you're never going to catch it. If you wake up as a servant, all right, how many people or who am I going to go out and help today? It's a completely different existence.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because people know when you have commission breath.
Oh, right.
Right?
Yeah.
You're dying. You're just dying to get that commission.
It oozes.
And I say, it's okay.
Yeah.
No rush. Let's just go at your pace. And people are like, oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it's a win.
Yeah.
Again, for both of us.
Right. Well, I think there's magic having the intelligence, the emotional intelligence, everything to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that's amazing. What is your favorite way to decompress?
My favorite way to decompress is coloring on my phone and also just sitting alone without anything on. Like sitting in the car,
Yeah.
just without any radio. That's a very normal thing for me to do, is nothing on.
Okay.
And I'll be driving over 2 hours and have no idea that I didn't have anything on,
Okay.
because I just have things going on in my head. And
So it's a quiet place for you to kind of process.
yeah. Yeah.
So I do have to give you a hard time coloring on your phone.
Mhm.
What is that?
Coloring on my phone.
Like
Yes.
Crayola coloring on your phone?
Yes, absolutely. My
Alright.
husband hates it, actually. I put that phone down. I'm like, you know what? I don't know. So when I'm home at night, right before I go to bed, I have to color a little bit. I have to watch my HGTV,
Okay.
and it just
Okay, bridge you
it's
back
just
to
it does. It just kind of
what is one word that defines your business?
this year exciting.
Exciting. All right. I love that. We're going to end with exciting. Tara, thank you so much for your time and being with us. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay re-inspired. We'll see you next time.